I'm going to demonstrate the use of TWSBI Emerald Green Fountain Pen ink in everyday use, just for writing on a greeting card. Not artwork. This is something that anybody can do. And how did it get to be our Emerald wedding anniversary so soon? Now, anybody celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary is likely to be an aged pensioner and on a tight budget, so this whole demonstration will be done for people on a tight budget. This little leather journal was an imported journal, easily found online. If you Google journals, you'll be able to find inexpensive ones. This cost me under $10 Australian money, including the delivery costs. It was imported. And no, the papers are not recommended as fountain pen friendly. You will see there's a little bit of bleeding, but my husband will be using this with a ballpoint pen. I'm only using fountain pen with it for the initial opening page. And that's to personalise the journal for him, not to impress art lovers. And then I'll go on and use the TWSBI Emerald Green fountain pen ink on the greeting card, and that cardstock showed off the beauty of the emerald green ink far better than this opening page does. Now, my writing is not a thing of beauty. I'm happy that it's readable. So at this stage, I'm speeding up the video. Now, for a gift such as this, it is very much the thought that counts, not the cost. And the rest of this gift was purchased at the local opportunity shop, the charity second-hand shop. I got that little ornament, happy anniversary, the pretty tin, the little bows that go on the tin, and the anniversary card for under $5.50 Australian money again. Now, this pen that I'm working with, it's a beautiful gold nib, but again, it's a second-hand fountain pen, and the fountain pen part was broken, and so you can see that blue and white tape. That's washi tape, just cheap tape. That's binding a beautiful nib onto a whittled timber handle. So I'm working with what had been a broken fountain pen that had a beautiful nib still on it. So I'm working with one of the finest gold nibs, but the whole pen cost me very little because I chose second-hand, what somebody else had discarded as rubbish, and I put it together as the most beautiful dip pen. This cardstock is lovely. See how this brushwork shows off the exquisite transparent jade of this lovely emerald green by TWSBI. So this card really shows you the beautiful ink. I go back and I double dip the ink, but you lose a lot of the lovely translucency. So I like it best when it's put on single. I'm working with a sable brush. Now that is a little bit more costly, a sable brush. Again, you could use a synthetic brush for this. I've tried to do pretty well all of this gift and preparation of the gift with inexpensive tools. So to keep the cost down, you would use a cheap acrylic brush would do this job. See how I've gone over the second time. I think it loses a lot of the beauty of the lovely emerald green by making it darker. You don't get the transparency. Do you agree? It looks nicest, just a single file. But I'm trying to demonstrate this ink to you by showing different ways of using it. Now, doing line work with the brush is not perhaps as easy as doing the line work with the fountain pen nib. Also, it doesn't do the lovely, very fine lines. Now, my husband and I have always loved nature together, so it was just natural to just use a very simple leaf illustration. I told you this is something anybody can do. Just press that brush down deeply to get the wider part of the leaf and then just lift off as you move along, and that gives you the narrow part. Very easy doing leaf work like this. And then I put down little dots just dot, 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 and that's to represent gum nuts. And later on I'll just put a little stroke over those, which will add to the effect of them being gum nuts. I used to use that technique when I illustrated pottery. I used to draw gum leaves and gum nuts on the pottery as a decoration. So it's something I've done a lot of, but it's quite simple to do, And yes, when you're doing the brushwork with the ink, don't try to worry about perfection. The brush gives varied widths, and so your writing with it can be varied widths. You are not aiming for perfection. See, 55 years and just casual work. Don't go back and try to fiddle with it. If it's not perfect, it's not a perfect shaped heart. It's the thought that counts. You're not trying to do an exquisite artwork if you're illustrating a card. What you're trying to do is saying, I think you're special enough that I've done something personal. Personal, as in not mass produced. So the lack of perfection becomes an asset. There isn't a great deal that you can give a man of 83 years almost when he has everything that he needs. And this greeting card and the little journal he can just have on his side table just fits the bill perfectly. And I think he'll appreciate my attempts to budget the money, given our age. Oh, it's not the sort of thing we want to spend lots of money for anniversary presents. We have all that we need. Now this is where doing the final lines using the fountain pen nib. Beautiful gold nib this is. It was something I treasure. And the fine lines suggesting twigs just gives that feeling of the Australian bush so well. My husband and I, as I said, we love the Australian bush, and it just increases the personalisation of it, something that has meaning to both of us on the card. Now the TWSBI Emerald Green Fountain Pen ink is a dye-based ink. That means it's water-soluble. It's made in China. It's readily available in most countries. It's quite a lovely ink. And remember, with a pen and a brush and a bottle of ink, you too can be an illustrator. You do not have to be able to achieve perfection. If you would like to thank me for showing you this TWSBI Emerald Green Fountain Pen ink, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and perhaps give this a thumbs up. That's a great encouragement to me. As well as being incredibly grateful that I'm around to celebrate my husband and my 55th wedding anniversary and well over 60 years of friendship. I'm also writing short stories, and because I'm not Superwoman, I don't write and create art well at the same time. I tend to take my turn at them, and because I'm writing a lot these days, I've not been able to produce as many videos, but I will keep producing them. And your encouragement through subscription, that will certainly keep me returning to this channel and showing you the beauty of fountain pen inks and fountain pen ink journals and ink line and watercolour wash art journaling.